What is up, guys? It's TimeForDillon back at it again with another crypto video. What is up, guys? It's TimeForDillon back at it again with another crypto video. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are awesome. If you're new here, subscribe, bell icon, get notified when I post new videos because it's all time sensitive. In today's video, you already know what we got to do. We got to talk about Coinbase suing the SEC because they can't provide regulatory clarity to save your life. We got to talk about that. And then, of course, Binance US calling off the acquisition of Voyager. Yet again, Voyager getting screwed. The people that lost funds in this Voyager debacle getting screwed once again. Why? Because of regulators. Of course, the SEC, Dirty Gary Gensler, protecting investors once again. I don't know. I wouldn't characterize it like that. And then, of course, we got to talk about Bitcoin's price absolutely ripping because of First Republic Bank crashing. Now, it looks like the federal government is going to be acquiring and saving the investors of First Republic Bank. So, of course, we got to talk about that. And is all of this just paving the way for CBDCs? I happen to think so. So we have a lot to talk about in today's video. Make sure you guys stay tuned until the end so you don't miss out on any of this important information. As always, first things first, we've got to take a quick look at the crypto markets. As you guys can see, global crypto market cap up about 2.5%. We're sitting at $1.18 trillion. Gotta love it. Bitcoin really leading the charge today, as we just pointed out. First Republic Bank crashing. Now, we saw what happened with this bank crisis not too long ago, starting with Signal Bank, then going to SVB, then hitting First Republic, then, of course, going overseas, hitting Credit Suisse. And, of course, we just got information today that the U.S. government is officially stepping in and taking over First Republic Bank because in the first quarter of this year alone, they lost $72 billion. Now, that's why crypto is absolutely ripping today. Bitcoin up almost 4% on the day, back up over 28,000, looking like it wants to make the push back up to the $29,000, $30,000 range. Of course, I'm here to see it. You guys already know when Bitcoin moves, the market follows. Of course, Bitcoin dominance taking a nice little rip to the upside, back up to 46%, looking like it wants to reclaim that 50% territory. Now, there's a lot of people on the internet, a lot of these pundits saying it's not going to happen. Ethereum, it's going to be the next winner, blah, 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 blah. Your favorite altcoin, it's going to be the one. Don't let them fool you. Bitcoin is still in charge. Bitcoin still controls this market. That's why pretty much everything is up today. Everything is red. Ethereum almost back up to $1,900. BNB looking strong. XRP, Cardano, Dogecoin, the list goes on. Bitcoin controls the market. When it moves, the coins follow. You got to remember that, and you got to respect it. You know what? I think it's pretty interesting that even gold and silver are up today. Not by much, but you guys know, traditional markets, they do not move anywhere nearly as fast as crypto. That's why I tend to stay out of them. However, gold and silver, I still think pretty solid stable coins, if you will, if you hold, some coins, some gold and silver coinage. I'd say they're pretty stable. I'd say that they are a good hedge against Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. If they were to fail, gold and silver would probably absorb a lot of that liquidity. That's how I look at it. You guys can look at it however you want. Of course, there's pros and cons to having both. You guys need to do your own research, come to your own conclusions. Nothing on this channel is financial advice, so just keep that in the back of your mind. But of course, first story we have to talk about is this Coinbase suing the SEC after months of silence from federal regulators. Now, as you guys know, earlier this year, I think it was in February, we saw Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, come out and say that they have received numerous Wells notices from the SEC. If you guys don't know, Wells notice is essentially the first step in taking a regulatory action against some entity. Now, they received this notice earlier this year. And what did it say? It said you guys might have some securities in this here platform. What are they? Oh, we're not going to tell you. Don't you love the clarity there? We're not going to tell you what we think is a security, even though Coinbase had worked tirelessly with this regulatory body to make sure that everything was in compliance. They even asked numerous times, hey, can you please tell us, is anything on our platform a security? to which, of course, the SEC could not answer that question. Why? My guess is probably because they're in this massive lawsuit with XRP. So anytime somebody asks Gary Gensler or the SEC, is this a security? He's not going to answer it, because if he says no, the lawsuit is over with XRP. It's that simple. And this guy does not want to ruin his legacy, right? Even though I think it's personally ruined. Does not want to ruin his legacy. Going out of office, which many people are speculating he's going to be losing his seat very soon, he does not want to go out with a big fat L on his record, even though we know that's exactly what's going to happen. Now, of course, I'm sure you guys remember the collapse of FTX. After FTX collapsed and it came to light that Gary Gensler was meeting with Sam Bankman-Fried on two separate public occasions, right? On public record, we have two occasions that Gary Gensler met with Sam Bankman-Fried and wanted to work with FTX to make FTX the most regulated crypto exchange in the United States. After that entire exchange blew up in Gary Gensler's face and made him look like the complete idiot that he is, he came out with a vengeance coming after every single small cryptocurrency exchange and small crypto project that he could, racking up a lot of settlements. Now, of course, he did not come after Binance, and he did not come after Coinbase for a reason. That is because Coinbase and Binance have huge pocketbooks, and they can definitely handle legislative prices. They can definitely handle acquiring lawyers to go to battle with the SEC. And of course, that is what we are going to start seeing. However, in this case, it's Coinbase taking the fight to the SEC. So I'm super happy about this. I think it's totally necessary in the cryptocurrency space. We need regulatory clarity. We need regulatory clarity. We need regulatory clarity. If we want big boys, the big financial heavy hitters, to take a step and take a plunge into the crypto space, Google, Apple, Samsung, etc., we need to have regulatory clarity so they feel more safe with putting their money in these speculative assets. That's just the bottom line. So the fact that Coinbase is now going to bat, taking the fight to the SEC, I think is a step in the right direction. And of course, all of this in the face of Chamath Palihapitiya coming out and saying crypto is dead in the United States because of the lack of regulatory clarity. And I do agree with him. However, if we do finally get some clarity, I think things will resume as intended. So I just quickly wanted to point that out. You guys need to read this article if you're interested. But pretty much that's what it is. Coinbase taking the fight to the SEC. Up next, the next thing we wanted to talk about was this Binance.us. Of course, they're having to stop the acquisition of Voyager. Now, the reason why this is big news is because now this is the second cryptocurrency exchange in the United States to not go through with the acquisition of Voyager. We have so many investors waiting to get their funds back. I have personal friends that had money on Voyager that still don't know what's going to happen. What's going to happen? That's all they want. Even if it's a fraction of what they lost in this entire debacle, they just want their damn money back. And it sucks that we have hostile regulators, you know who that is, Gary Gensler, coming out, right, to protect users' funds. How is this protecting anyone? Seriously. This right here is just a slap in the face to the cryptocurrency space, slap in the face to investors that actually lost their funds, right? If this guy wants to protect users, he should resign today. That's all I'm going to say about that. And then, of course, the last thing we need to talk about is First Republic Bank. Finally, resparking the fears of this entire bank crisis, like I've been saying for the past couple months, like a lot of people have been saying for the past couple months, this banking crisis is nowhere near over. And as you guys know, we have the CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, coming out 7 days away from our next FOMC meeting and giving us a 76.7% chance of a 0.25% rate hike. Now, this is not good news. This is not good news. Of course, you guys know, because I keep pointing it out, we are in an inflationary period. The Federal Reserve has its hands tied. The only way that they can possibly quell inflation is to raise rates. However, it looks as though they've raised rates beyond a point of contention. They've raised rates so far that it has caused these banks to crash, right? We saw Signal Bank go down. We saw Silicon Valley Bank go down. We saw First National Bank go down, now First Republic Bank. We even saw Credit Suisse. And the main bank over in Switzerland that had to acquire Credit Suisse, they even experienced some pain. They had to lay off like 50% of their work staff. So this entire problem is nowhere near over. And if we continue to raise rates, it's just going to make the problem worse because these banks are holding bonds they acquired at close to 0% interest rates. And when those rates go up, those bonds become worthless, which means they have to sell them at a loss. And that's why First Republic Bank is crashing and now being acquired by the federal government. Now, in the first quarter alone of this year, they lost $72 billion with a B. 72 billion. Crazy numbers, crazy losses here. People are starting to realize that if they want their money to be safe, they need to take it out of a ridiculously manipulated market. And that, of course, is the dollar market. The dollar is the biggest Ponzi scheme in the history of the world. These banks are absolutely corrupt beyond repair. And if you want a chance at preserving wealth, your only shot is Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, or precious metals. You know how I feel about precious metals. I love them, but I love crypto a hell of a lot more. Why? Because crypto, Bitcoin in particular, cannot be manipulated. You cannot change the circulating supply. You cannot change the maximum supply. It is secure by SHA-256, bolstered by asymmetric and symmetric encryption. If you guys haven't read the Bitcoin white paper, I highly suggest that you guys go read it. But all of this, right, causing more fears in the market, causing more fears with investors. What happens when banks go down? The stock market crashes. But apparently, Bitcoin rips. So I absolutely love it. And of course, all of this just paving the way for this corrupt regime to come in and do the most disgusting thing in American history, implement CBDCs. If this does come true, and they plan on rolling this out, right? I think it's called the Fed now. They plan on rolling this out in June of this year. If this does come to fruition, it will be the death of financial freedom and financial sovereignty in the United States. I don't really need to explain it to you, but if you guys don't understand, this is it right here. The money is programmable. It's not a public ledger. It is definitely a private ledger that is controlled entirely by the US government. It's trackable beyond trackable. There is no more cash. Cash is untrackable for the most part, easily manipulated. And of course, this right here would cause the government to have the ability to control how and when and why you spend your money. Nobody wants that. I don't want that. But if you do want that, I don't even know what to say. You're twisted and you need to seek some help. But that's really all I have for you guys today. Look at this potato coming out and running again for president. This guy right here. This absolute retard. That's all I have for you guys today. If you guys made it this far, you guys are awesome. Make sure you smash that like button. Drop a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm going to be dropping another programming tutorial, Python intermediate series, learning how to code using ChatGPT. Lessons are going to be coming up probably tomorrow. If not tomorrow, Thursday for sure. Don't hold your breath though. You guys have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are. Dylan is out.